An air of anticipation as these two sides get set to do battle. Real Madrid with a big win against Bournemouth that you heard here earlier. PSG, meanwhile, coming off of 2 straight wins.
Thank you.
There you see some of the Real Madrid players moving to the bench after the moment of silence. Here taking a look at the lineup for Real Madrid. Diego Lopez in goal. No Iker Casillas yet. Not quite on the picture. Dani Carvajal, though, interesting story. Sold away to Bayer Leverkusen, did so well. He was named the right back of the year in the Bundesliga. So Real Madrid took their option and bought him back. Leverkusen with a tidy $3 million profit for the year. And here for PSG, Matuidi Pastore backing up Mora. Big game for Ezequiel Lavezzi, Ray, because you kind of have a feeling once Edinson Cavani comes in, that's where he's going to slot, right up there alongside Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It's that 4-2-3-1 of sorts, 4-3-3, however you want to play it. But what Laurent Blanc has said, when you have Ibrahimovic and Cavani, it's got to be a 4-4-2. Pepe, not quite as neatly shorn as he had been in the past. And speaking of big opportunities, seemed to be on his way out in the Jose Mourinho era, but Carlo Ancelotti putting him right in the center of defense.
A lot of flirting around in the transfer markets, of course. Real Madrid fans losing Gonzalo Higuain. But as you say, Phil, Pepe is supposed to be skating on thin ice, but Ancelotti really stepping up and saying he's going nowhere. And the new young arrivals, we'll be watching Isco here against Laurent Blanc's men. No Illaramendi, a little bit of a niggling injury, so he's been left home, along with Xabi Alonso, the red beard, who is close to signing a renewed contract as well. There's Carlito, a wonderful player, a wonderful coach, an iconic footballer in Italy, and he's going to try to lead Real Madrid to their elusive La Decima. That's what it's all about for Real Madrid. But this magnificent footballer here, for me, the best leader of the line in football, Ibrahimovic.
Ezequiel Lavezzi and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Ibra wearing that captain's armband as we are underway. They had to switch around on the flip. PSG moving from left to right against Real Madrid in a rather natty blue. Find out if Cristiano Ronaldo can pass on some of that towards this PSG defense. This is an interesting test, Ray. Talked about the Ancelotti angle, but also PSG with a lot of the money that they have spent to improve in many ways to try and catch up, if not surpass, the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona. And last year in the Champions League, they almost did it.
Well, PSG were magnificent against Barcelona in their own way, and Real Madrid felt as if they could get to that final as well. It just wasn't to be under Mourinho. This change under Ancelotti's been well received by the merengues, both the fans and players. So nobody knows, Phil. A lot of changes going on. Tito Martino at Barcelona going to be standing tiptoe to tiptoe with the great Ancelotti. That in itself, apart from the players, is going to be worth the price of admission to watch La Liga on beIN Sport here today on this beautifully manicured footballing pitch. There's not going to be an excuse out there. Just a question if the players have got the real game faces on, but hey, and you've got these two absolute marvellous institutions of both French football and Spanish football. There's a lot of pride on the stakes here today.
Christophe Jallet, one-time captain, obviously still a leader in the clubhouse. Off to the near side, Khedira, a pull down as Ronaldo gets tangled and lands awkwardly. Blaise Matuidi quickly runs over to apologize. The whistle had already blown.
Very strong, a little reckless.
Got tangled and twisted, and with the news, well, should we say rumors more than news, of perhaps another £80 million outlay from Real Madrid. You think back to the richest transfer in the world and what Ronaldo has meant for Real, lifting them back to their days of glory. And the La Decima still eluding them. It's Isco on the restart. Alex clears. Isco, one of the big new names coming in. Of course, Higuain officially exiting earlier today, along with Callejon and Albiol to Napoli. Pressure from Lavezzi, well handled in the back. Michael Essien returning to Chelsea. Carvalho moves to PSG rivals Monaco, who, as you saw earlier on beIN Sport, coming up with a convincing win over Leicester. But Carvajal, Casemiro, who's on the bench, Isco, and Sociedad's promising Illaramendi, all brought in. Not exactly Mourinho types, but you can see how Ancelotti likes them. Things to build on for the future as well. Off to the far side. There is Carvajal, but missing his mark. Right, PSG not idle either. Thierry Armand, most recently Gamero moving on to Seville. That's going to be a good pickup by Sevilla. But when you take a look, Cavani, Marquinhos, and the youngster Digne, keep an eye on him at left back.
Now you're talking about Sevilla as well, Phil. Big news in Spain about Kondogbia coming for a rumoured 15 million euros to Real Madrid. But the big news, as you were alluding to, but never give the secret away, is that Gareth Bale is being tipped. Of course, it's been common knowledge, but the press in England now saying that there's been a massive world-breaking record bid placed. Whether or not it's been confirmed is debatable. The red top papers in England not the most trustworthy.
Now a chance for Ronaldo, appears to be okay after that early collision. Benzema, who seemed to win that hunting battle with Higuain, at least for now.
Beautiful
by Modric on the turn. Isco.
It was a fabulous ball from Big Benz. Beautiful, and it was dummied over the top. Absolutely brilliant football there. Didn't lead anyway, but that's the type of inspirational football that Carlito Ancelotti will be demanding of Benzema. He drifts away from all of the PSG coverers from his central position and whisks in a fabulous telling ball that Isco just wasn't able to capitalise on.
Mora the back heel. Zlatan.
Isco as well has been very nicely involved with his first time touches on the ball, floating around, changing positions at random with a good amount of these players in Real Madrid's side. Ancelotti starting to build in that type of variation on this Real Madrid scene.
Latched inside by Jallet, and they'll have to settle from the corner. 25-8-5 for PSG. Good enough for first place. 12 points better than Olympique Marseille. 16 points better than Olympique Lyon. Now with Monaco, could be even tighter at the top. Look at that stand. Packed. Lucas over everyone. Alex would have needed to stand on top of his own shoulders. Wasted effort for PSG. Again, Carvajal, still just 21. Played back by Khedira and launched away by Lopez. There are some tricky wingers in the Bundesliga, but they seem to have a ton of them in La Liga. Carvajal will have to prove himself all over again. Again, Jallet. Lucas. Along with Casemiro making those moves, although maybe see him in the second half for Real. Well met. Not just over the head of the charging
An absolutely majestic ball from the back line of PSG here. Look at this. It's a fabulous stepping ball from Thiago Motta. And again, or Ezekiel Lavezzi just not able to extend his neck muscles, Phil. What a pass from Motta. You're talking about it being an important season. Ezekiel Lavezzi didn't have too many good opportunities last year. Well, let me take that back. He had plenty of opportunities, didn't take too many of them. And now that his ex-Napoli teammate Cavani is going to be joining ranks, it's going to be a real fight for places. But they were so wonderful for Napoli together. So it's up to Laurent Blanc to see if he can shoehorn a wonderful trident together of Lavezzi, Ibrahimovic and Cavani. Good look.
Dropping it back to Mamadou
the
Sakho.
defenders trying to mark them, because that is going to be uncontainable. A lot of people saying, can Cavani and Ibrahimovic play together? For my money, it should be a dream made in heaven. It should be. With Ibrahimovic, I don't think he gets the credit for being the creator that he is. Whereas, I'm not so sure Cavani is that type. He's much more of a deadlier finisher, just a mock-up man, great penalty box predator. So you've got one absolutely beautiful creator and one great finisher. It should work.
Ronaldo cutting to his right, trying to create the opening, but Jallet stays with him all the way. Far side, Pastore, but he gives it away easily to Carvajal. Benzema trying to work some magic, but cleared away. Now Lavezzi, good lunge by Zlatan. Lucas back to Ibra. The step over. Modric slowing things down. Lucas turns it to another gear. Lucas inside, still Lucas. Poke free on the turn. Ibrahimovic deflected.
Superlative football from the Brazilian 20-year-old Lucas Moura. Absolutely bamboozling and tormenting Khedira. Stepping across and driving into the box. Just wanted that one extra step before he rasped it towards Diego Lopez.
Big Laurent Blanc. Still so towering in the French history. Now on the sideline.
Really threw big gasps of appreciation around this stadium there when Lucas Moura was like a werewolf, just driving past brilliant control. And he picked the ball up so far out away from goal and just totally stripped apart Real Madrid, but good last-ditch defending in the end.
Now Motta. Wonder whether a chance to steal away that starting spot from Verratti. Of course, Verratti's also been rumored for a potential return to Serie A, although PSG saying he's going nowhere. Jallet pushing forward, just off stride. Again, Lavezzi out for Ronaldo. They're just sprinting through the midfield. Uzi. Ronaldo getting it back. Ronaldo fakes from 35, drives in on Sakho, slots inside for Özil, looking for Benzema, cleared by Alex. Only as far as Modric. Isco, well disguised, overlap, looking inside Coentrao.
Wonderful play from Mesut Özil. He wanted that ball played back first time. And the initial setup from Benzema, it still comes to Isco. That's a clever ball round the back. And this one's nicely cut out in the end. Good defending.
This will swing in towards Sirigu. Actually overran it, having to reach back. The Italian not happy with the outlet. Lavezzi making something of it. Actually, Carvajal stealing it away now, though. Khedira and Modric. Confederations Cup contestants still getting arrests. No Ramos, no Xavi Alonso, and no Cavani stepping up. Matuidi, but he forgot something. Ronaldo slides and slips as he shoots off target.
Nice touch by Luka Modric to set him up.
Stadium built in 1958. It's a little tight on the corners, only about 72, 73 yards wide. It does have a lot of history, though, Ray. From a U.S. perspective, it's the first NFL game that was ever played on the continent back in '88, Minnesota and Chicago. Hosted the finals of Euro 92, UEFA 04, and oh yeah, it's also the first stadium Pelé ever stepped on as a World Cup player. Back in a teenager against the Soviet Union in 1958.
Isco in these opening 12 minutes been nicely involved, floating in and around very impressively.
Modric. Who tried to deflect it to a teammate. Now a chance for Ibra. Dragging two defenders with him, looking for help on the flank. None there, so takes it inside himself. Second effort. Lucas back to the center and Mota. Pastore, not quite enough.
It's a great ball. It was hesitated upon from the man receiving it.
Maxwell.
It was Maxwell. Should have kept on believing it. Didn't hit it quite as clean as what he liked, perhaps, Pastore, but it got where it needed to be. Maxwell could have picked that one up and swept behind that line of the defense.
Keep an eye on that big number 3, Sacco, looking a little uncomfortable there on the pass back to Sirigu. With the arrival of Marquinhos from Roma, many people already penciling him in next to Silva, but Sacco, the regular starter.
I think they'll be sticking with Sacco for a good while, personally, but we will see. Anyway.
Ibra. Too far for Jallet. Have to look twice with Pastore and Ibrahimovic. Looks like Pastore decided to get on Ibra's good side. He borrowed his barber. Maybe a little bit more of Ibrahimovic's heart, and there won't be as many questions about Pastore this season. Line. Benzema, speaking of barbers. Interesting if we get another close-up. Here's Ronaldo. Tweedy with him. Khedira. Isco. Isco!
Well, there's been a lot of skeptics, and you can stand up and call yourselves out right now. Thank you, Phil, for standing up. About this young lad coming in. A lot of people thinking he won't be played. It's too young for him. It's too hard of a club for him to really step up to the plate. I'm not believing it. I think this man is going to be an absolutely tremendous addition. A little bandy-legged 23-year-old Francisco Suarez.
Good step by Matuidi. Pastore wide. Lucas with help in the middle, launching it long but over everyone. Right, to get to your point, at least in a friendly against PSG, Isco looking very comfortable. And it's interesting as well with Modric, Ozil, and Isco. Now Ronaldo freezes Sacco, but takes it wide.
Good play again.
In for Isco Alarcon, the pride of Malaga. Benzema to Modric. Maybe joined by a fellow Spur, Isco. Is there enough? Just past Maxwell. Ronaldo, actually Benzema bobbled and Sirigu on top of it before Ronaldo can pounce.
Good play from Isco again, starting the dominoes moving. Plays this one out wide, and then this little ball in for Benzema to turn and rasp first time, and Sirigu nearly putting it on the welcome mat for Cristiano.
Very entertaining opening quarter hour. Look at the bench and both teams with plenty more to come. Van der Wiel, Verratti, Bodmer, Sissoko, Kamara, and Thiago Silva. And then you look at Real Madrid. Even some good youngsters.
It's a great ball whipped out wide here.
Touched inside, Jallet. Lavezzi on the turn. Back for Thiago Mota. Zlatan standing high. Maxwell. Jallet thought about meeting it on the volley, settles, centers, and cleared away. Pepe out for the corner.
Good play by Javier Pastore again, really spreading this field out. Some very insightful passes. Jallet, nice bleeding out there to the wide positions from his fullback position, sending in some dangerous crosses in front of Diego Lopez, but Real Madrid's defense dealing with it nicely.
Lucas, again the crosses leaving a bit to be desired. Maxwell touch for Jallet. Quickly under pressure but handled well. beINsport.tv, check things out. The schedule's already out. Much of the rest of preseason gearing up towards the start of these new championships. Swedish drum corps in Gothenburg. 69 degrees. It is summer, but the clouds keeping much of the heat away. Of course, Real Madrid will be traveling across to the States for their upcoming friendly tour, continuing through that International Champions Cup. Mouth-watering showdowns there, and this is a great way to start. Who's here? Ronaldo on the inside, goes out for Benzema, trying the cross. Sacco doing enough to clear. Back comes Pastore, off to Matuidi. Okay. Any differences noticed from the Laurent Blanc PSG from last year's Ancelotti-led PSG?
Yeah, I think Ancelotti seemingly having a better effect on Real Madrid than Laurent's having on PSG. Of course, this is not even early days, and even from dress rehearsal as it is, we won't find out until the real gloves are taken off. But certainly Real Madrid, for me, feel as if they're nicely in harmony with one another. So many similar players out there exchanging positions very nicely.
Great build-up here from PSG, though. Slot into the middle. Pastore with a swing and a miss. What a build-up that would have been towards goal, but
well, the build-up was perfect towards goal. It's just the last finish from Pastore, who didn't adjust his gyroscope quick enough. It would have been a great effort to get a shot at Lopez's goal after those wonderful slick exchanges, as you say.
Speaking of Lopez's goal, is it Lopez's goal, and isn't that really the biggest situation Ancelotti has to deal with, is the Iker Casillas situation? Off to Isco wide. Anyway, second, third, or fourth, even fifth choice, it seemed, Iker last year at the end of Mourinho's reign.
Benzema as a player has really shown a lot of edge about him in this game. Good edge.
Just going back to his Olympic Lyon days. Maybe a bit of a flashback. Modric launching it into orbit. Benzema still just 25 himself. Ibra. Too far for Lucas.
Super fast player. Says a few times Ibra's passing hasn't been quite what it should be in this opening 20 minutes.
PSG beating Sturm Graz, losing to Sturm Graz, beating Rapid Vienna and Hammarby. They have action starting quickly next week. That Super Cup showdown against Bordeaux, Blanc's old side. It's the 9th. They open up at Montpellier. Need to be a bit sharper. Launched in. Ronaldo got to it, but over Sirigu's net.
So good with his head, Cristiano, very underrated, meets it beautifully, still seems to get the power out of nothing right here. And so looking to drop that underneath the crossbar in that far corner, just slick enough in the end, but wonderful effort.
Sirigu. Still alive, Lavezzi. Pepe. Only as far as Lucas. Lavezzi drops it back, stepping up Matuidi, one of the revelations. revelations last year. Pastore for Maxwell, near post. Lavezzi sends it wide of the post.
Would have been a magnificent goal. Truly champagne football from the French here. This is absolutely brilliant. Fabulous ball from Maxwell. Caresses it, stabs at it. Just an inch on the inside of the post, and would have been settling past Diego Lopez.
Jallet tried to make it perfect, and it fell short of good. Good step up, Alex. Here comes the big man. Ripping it long. Lavezzi tried to settle, but waited too long. Carvajal putting it out.
Well, 2 minutes in now, two fabulous chances falling to Lavezzi, who you said at the start, Phil, needs to really turn his amperage up a little bit and really start to impress after last season. Now, hey, two chances that he's had provided for him here should have been put away. Look out.
Long run forward, Benzema, bodies in the wake, wide for Özil. PSG with numbers back. Benzema!
But white hot is Benzema. Mesut Özil has got nothing on. He waits and waits for support. It ain't coming, so he makes use of what he's got. And Benzema, who I said was looking sharp, well, this is more bottle edge than a broken bottle here. Look at this. He's got nothing. He sees him and he steps through it. The accuracy is sublime. Wonderful placement. You've got to take this one off me, Benz, and Benz does. He caresses this one with accuracy and beautiful placement. It's a magnificent finish from Benzema. Restoring the faith in Carlo Ancelotti. I'm so pleased that I made point of it early on, Phil, that he was the man showing more confidence and real pointed edge about his game that we didn't see too much last year. Look out.
Down on the other end, Matuidi, fresh from his card, almost equalizes, but Lopez out to snuff the chance.
A wonderful ball to set him up. That's a strong run by the youngster. Driving in through the back lane, and that's a tremendous save by Diego Lopez, who attacks the run of Matuidi.
An in-swinger. Lopez stays near post, cleared away, out for, well, kept in play, in fact. Now Matuidi down the line. Whips it across, sliding across Coentrao to head it clear.
When we go back and take a look at that Benzema goal, Phil, one of the aspects we'll probably not get picked on is the play by Mesut Özil. I'm telling you, there's so many other players who would have rushed that and tried to find one of the supporting runners, seeing that Benzema was so well covered, but he gave him time. He gave his centre-forward time to get a yard away from his defender. And that's the intelligence of Mesut Özil. Absolutely brilliant, holding up, ignoring the late-arriving runs, and trusting in Benzema and getting rewarded for it. Wonderful Real Madrid.
Lucas now wide. Jallet, the long cross into the center, headed, but wide of the target by Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Rises above Daniel Carvajal easily. 6'5" against 5'8" is going to get you this wonderful ball triggered in. But I tell you what, credit Daniel Carvajal just doing enough. Take a look again. He just reaches in, and he knows he ain't going to win it upstairs, but at least he gives Zlatan a little bit of a hip check. Gets away with it.
Good step forward. Something we haven't mentioned, Nacho, who was playing last year under Mourinho as an outside back, reverting to his normal position at center back, just missing the stride of Benzema. Good try from Carvajal that time, who quickly keeps the pressure on. Maxwell. Sacco. Tight to the goal line, but inside for Pastore. High pressure from Real Madrid. Nifty little back heel from Pastore. Now it's Zlatan. Lucas for Ibra. Ibra wide for Jallet. Launching it, and it hangs in the air. Diego Lopez, giant in the net. And Trout pushing it forward. We'll ask about the differences between the Ancelotti and Blanc-led PSG. What about the Mourinho and Ancelotti-led Real Madrid? Isco, back for Benzema. Seems to be, I want to call it patience. A bit more willingness to build. Benzema lays it off. Özil just couldn't find the trigger as he got stuck between his feet.
Fabulous play from the German international, but again, even better from Benzema. He's so sharp with his touches in this early pre-season. Özil cannot believe he doesn't capitalise on that. He triggers this ball into Benzema. That's the serious question of him. He's got to ping it in between a tiny, infinitely small passing lane, and Özil gets his chance. Fed back to him immediately from Benzema, and Ben's just saying, put it away. And Mesut just not able to make contact with the final touch. Would have been another sparkler of a goal.
Beitzi caressing it for Ibra, rolls it wide for Maxwell, the former Barcelona left back, in on Carvajal, the give, the go, and Pepe went and got it. Good tackle by the Real Madrid man, but out for a PSG corner. Years of age, Pepe, but with Ancelotti, it looks like he'll stick around for a while.
Impressive outing by both clubs. Real Madrid with their noses in front here.
Pastore to the near post.
But you know, it would easily be the other way around. PSG's had some tremendous opportunities in front of Diego Lopez. It's been denied by the keeper and also missed by PSG forwards.
Pastore trying to get a bit too close. Good tackle, Modric. One back by Matuidi. Which anywhere Ancelotti put him last year, former Saint-Etienne midfielder shined. Malta. Lucas. Back for Malta. Matuidi tripped up, and the foul against Benzema. Quickly restarted. 30th minute. You sense PSG trying to push for that equalizer. Malta. Pastore. Ibra with the soft touch, but Lucas had headed to the right. And perhaps easy to understand as Jallet defends well. Easy to understand from a PSG perspective, considering they're only about a week away from opening things up for real. But Real Madrid not that far removed from vacation. This has been an outstanding opening half hour. Lavezzi pressuring. Nacho Fernandez sends it wide. Back for the hometown kid from Madrid. Isco. Khedira. Ronaldo. Back to Ronaldo. Poking it free, Alex.
From Benzema that should have been rewarded by the pass from Cristiano Ronaldo.
Dragging through. Özil deflected wide. Top of the box, Modric flies through the challenge, looking for a foul, but it goes the other way.
Great tackle by Tweedy.
Zlatan with the touch.
Could attack this from PSG.
Lavezzi to Mora.
Nicely.
Pastore wide, Ibra open, if they can find him, looking for the back corner, but a game of catch with Lopez.
Well, Pastore goes for the spectacular, but I think you're right, Phil. Lovely setup, and he had man open at the back, none more so than the big dragon himself, Ibrahimovic, waiting on that back post. Astoria fancying himself against Diego Lopez.
The referee, Mikel Lergeus, 40-year-old FIFA ref. A little bit of a hit seeing Nacho go down. And he's back up and to his feet. The sporting thing as PSG sends it back. Referee, a former military officer, so I have a feeling the arguments will be short and sweet. In for Khedira. At least at this point, Ray, you're right. Looks to the manner born.
Yeah, without being totally demonstrative on a selfish basis either.
Huge.
He's really been very smart, quick, precise with his passes. Not more so than that man there with that spiffy haircut. Benzema changed his appearance, and for me, that attitude change under Ancelotti. Again, it's just a new dawn of Real Madrid, but this youngster nicely involved in complementing this midfield that is still going to be missing the great red beard of Xabi Alonso. It's got to be heartening for Real Madrid fans, because this doesn't look as if it's a one-man show, Phil. Again, I can't overstate that it's just pre-season friendly. We all know that, but auspices are very good, and it's looking decidedly bright. Seems to be a good unity, and as I say, nothing too selfish about any of the play from Real Madrid's men, all complementing each other. It's another good follow-up here.
Oh. Back to Ronaldo, back for Modric. Trying to cut off the path was Lucas. Jallet just sending it out to the boot of Ibrahimovic. Good step up, Pepe. Remember, he's a center back all the way near the opposing box, pushing it wide. Need a better cross as Ronaldo seemed to have a gap. Now Lavezzi getting a bit sloppy over these last few moments. Out wide. The run inside Lavezzi. Ibra just saw
tremendous defending here.
Carvajal.
Absolutely world-class defending against one of the most dangerous players in the world, and Carvajal stands him up, looks him in the eye, and then totally dispossesses Ibrahimovic.
Khedira, the former Stuttgart man. Briefly last year, we seen the offense starting to blossom for Real that we saw in his days in Germany.
Real Madrid fans got to go back to that replay button again, your fancy schmancy machines, and look at the way Daniel Carvajal stood up Ibrahimovic when Ibra has got him backing off, and that's one of the reasons why he was that right back and all of the best right back in all of the Bundesliga last season, Phil. That's a wonderful isolated situation that the Real Madrid fans should really enjoy in that replay. Marvelous defending.
And then you think back to Arbeloa, even having to use Essien at that position last year. A huge pickup. Isco shows.
This guy's going to be monstrous for Real Madrid in that position.
Back for the former Malaga man. A little soft. Up-stepped Alex, who's had a good game. The outlet pass looking for Lucas, who was stuck in neutral. Thiago Motta a bit winded. Talked about some of the depth. Well, one player who's not with PSG at the moment, Kevin Gamero, sold away to Sevilla. Another one, Jeremy Menez, just had surgery for a herniated disc. Looks like he's going to be out till September. So a chance for Lavezzi to prove he continues to be in that rotation even once Cavani gets here. Strong step up. Now it's Lucas. Tried to keep his feet, but Modric got enough.
Well, It's the booking, yes, I think it should be as well. Wonderful play from the Brazilian. Modric just completely clips him. No excuses from Modric. He recognised the danger. Lucas has left him there. He's reaching in way too late. He's taking the player down.
Could argue, going back to those 1994 rules, that should have been a red, even if this is a friendly. Gives you an idea of what PSG saw to spend those millions to get Lucas Moura from Sao Paulo.
44 million euros, right?
60 million bucks. A couple of those, you could get yourself a bail. 8 minutes left in the opening half. Jallet chomping at the bit, but the pass inside. Wide, Jallet. Good to cross.
Wall's done well.
Horta using his body to shield. Touched inside Matuidi. Lavezzi, instead of taking it himself, tried to send it back to Matuidi, and the chance disappears.
Wonderful ball into Lavezzi. I think he does the right thing. He's got his back to the goal. He pays it off to Matuidi, and Matuidi just can't get it back in time for him. It's well cut out again from Real Madrid in the heart of that defence. Sharp, insightful football from PSG, though.
Beautiful goal from Karim Benzema, but PSG looking to equalise. Just missing out in the station. Lucas catching up. Jallet on the overlap. Back from Mota. Large bodies pushing forward. One of them is Zlatan, and shades of last year. Lavezzi dribbles it wide.
Shades of last year, shades of this game. This is a hat-trick that's gone begging now for Lavezzi, and his right foot just turns into a size 9 jellyfish. He just got to stab it home. Absolutely magnificent ball, and Ibrahimovic does exactly the right thing. Wins it upstairs. Zlatan could have punished the net, perhaps, but he's got an absolute easy knockdown for his teammate. And Cavani probably watching in, saying, what went wrong with my ex-Napoli teammate, Phil? That's seriously bad finishing. And that's just one example of it. At half-time we'll show the two previous ones were close to being as bad.
Almost to Ronaldo. Alex. There is a belief sometimes that for a striker, it's better to get the chances and miss than not get them at all, but sooner or later those misses add up.
Yeah, soccer philosophy has got a lot of good coaches fired. He was there to miss the chance, right? Really softens the blow.
And Laurent Blanc, the man who has to deal with that.
If it was his first time, it could be excusable, and we all know that missed opportunities in football in front of goal are one of life's big mysteries. Lavezzi, a fabulous player in his own right, but he had it last year, Phil, and we saw it too many times.
Scored all the way back to
3 goals out of 28 performances for PSG last season, and that's not going to get it done. For a man that comes for that much money, sorry, Argentina man missing in action.
Look at that. The ball coming back. Lavezzi casually, almost as though he thought he was going to be offside, not realizing it came off of a Madrid player. Another chance that goes begging from the Argentine. Vote free Modric. Modric has had a bit of an up and down first half, but he looks like a genius compared to Ezequiel Lavezzi at the moment, who I'm sure is hoping to rip the goat horns off before the half. Ball played back. Here's the Croat. Next to the White Hart Lane, Benzema. Seems to be playing with less of a chip on his shoulder, less of a black cloud above his head.
Magic. Touch.
Ronaldo stops it on a dime. Now dropping with Lavezzi, with Pastore make that. Khedira making a push in the center, but kind of a haul down the line for Benzema. I thought Ronaldo would make the near post run, poorly cleared.
Good ball.
Carvajal back for Ronaldo. Modric. Trawa. Oh, rest for Khedira. Second try goes across the empty net. Khedira missed it, and Benzema missed the net.
Lovely ball sent out here, and a fine ball intended for Khedira. Khedira cannot stoop to conquer. Fabulous from Trawa, puts it on a beautiful altar for Khedira. I don't understand how quite he missed his header, and then Benzema with that flashing header. It's a good attempt because his focus was on Khedira in front of him, thinking that he's going to be putting this one away easy peasy, but then it flashed towards him and he still was able to get a good half effort towards that back post of Salvatore Sirigu.
With the head swiveling left and right.
Lovely pass from Trawa.
Lavezzi trying to pull away, got pulled down by Nacho instead. No sympathy from the referee. Getting back to Benzema, Ray. It might look good when you have Higuain and Benzema pushing each other, but Benzema seems to be a lot happier camper this season. Well, the question is, does that lead to the extra goals that will keep him out there on a daily basis?
The question needs to be answered. The way this Real Madrid team is looking, be a wonderful way to find out. Watching them game in, game out. It's a great lead ball.
Just offside. Trawa's been brilliant. There have been some rumors he might join that exodus to Monaco.
This ball. Is he offside when the ball's played? Oh man, it looks as if it is, but it's just a half a step, if that. Tough decision there for the linesman over that distance when the ball's being played. Sharp again, no bends.
Pastore for Maxwell, who leaves it in his wake. Back to the Argentine. Zlatan trying to find a gap up front. Matuidi, Christophe Jallet. Rifled in, and the spin difficult for most. Zlatan just plays the drop. Mamadou Sakho with space. Maxwell. Zlatan starting to motor. Pastore wide for the Brazilian. Lavezzi rotates. Chance for Lucas. Quick step up though from Pepe. Just takes everything out.
Lucas hesitated. He had Christophe Jallet in an ocean out here. This right back position joins in beautifully. Jallet.
Pastore tinkers, drops, squared for Lucas. Again quickly shut down. It's Ronaldo defending. Poor clearance though, and back to the midfield for PSG. 45th minute, halfway done. 1-0 on the goal for Benzema. Both teams have had more than a handful of chances to add to the score. This could be it for Zlatan. Settles, two men on, turns. Help on the back in Lavezzi, and just rattled around and over the goal line.
Great ball played into Zlatan, and he's got Pepe hanging on him. Fairly and squarely, he's really right on his backside and really doing well. Zlatan to hold Pepe off, who was challenging for it. Good defensive work by the Portuguese international, giving Zlatan no way out.
That will do it for the first half as the Brazilian-born Portuguese defender shuts down the chance for the equalizer. 1-0, the goal from Benzema.
Well, he will be up for man of the match early. Zlatan always involved with Benzema's goal. A really wonderfully created piece of invention, but fabulous quality football going both ways. Seesaw football filled with class everywhere.
Thicker, completely natural. If you've ever wanted to restore your own naturally growing hair,